Alright, what is going on, guys? We are at the backyard pond. It's been a while since we did an entire video for it, so we are going to revamp it. We got a lot of algae around here, as you guys can see. Prior to me coming up, I see a lot of frogs moving. I see a lot of fish. There's a lot of activity. So let's go in here, see what kind of fish we got. I see some giant fish. Using the old Holmes Outdoors micro kit for now. Water clarity is decent. It's nothing too bad. Let up some more line. We're treating this just kind of like a fly. We do got the old boots on today. That way we don't get too wet. Got a lot of raccoon prints over here as well. I do see a lot of baby fish around here. It does not look like anything's interested in our micro jig. They probably got PTSD from the last time we caught them.
Flashback.
They're like, hey, I've seen that lure before. You can't fool me twice. Alright, let's get straight into it, shall we? There are a pretty good amount of fish in here. Now what we are going to do is we are going to remove all of this algae. We will start right here. All the algae that we remove will be placed on top of our target, just to kind of add to that backdrop. It's very thick algae as well. Now while we're doing this, there will be some casualties, naturally, some baby fish, but this will ultimately help the pond. There'll be more room and stuff in here. All of our frogs have grown. They all hatched out, so now they're feeding off of like your bugs and all that stuff. Feeding off all that. Speaking of frog, we got one right here. Oh. Don't worry, I'll get him. He can run, but he can't hide. That's what I mean by there might be some casualties. We got some that haven't hatched yet. Throw him back. So far, that's the only one there. Alright, you're probably wondering why we're removing algae. Let me show you the plans for the old backyard pond. So we got this big section right here, like so. It opens up just a little bit over here. And we got a smaller section right here with our ditch right here. We got the bridge that goes across right here, little spot over the ditch, and then we got our dock right here. This is the current location of all the beds right here. This giant sandy section right here is a bed, and then there are beds all throughout this back spot, and then they're kind of like dotted along here. These are our breeding grounds right up through here, and I guess you could say they're kind of scattered out through like this little area. But for the most part, they hang around these little areas up in here with this big section right here. Now currently, there's algae all around this entire section right here. We are going to make it to where the algae is only in this back section right here. This is a very shallow section, partially covered. So we're only going to have it to where the algae is in this back section right here. And we're going to have it to where this whole section right here is nice and clean with, you know, might get that occasional algae in the ditch. That's the nursery. It'll sit just about, like, here's the water level right here. It'll be just barely above it. Anything can just jump out as it wants to. And as always, we have our fountain right here, aerating this whole section, pushing it out this way. So that right there is the goal for the backyard pond. Now we do got some smaller fish we're kind of being mindful of. These are little bluegills. Hand back. There will be some that don't make it. Now you're probably wondering earlier why I have this barrel. This is part of our floating bait tank build. Well, this kind of be like a floating stock tank, if you will, a little hatchery, something like that. Tie it up off here too. It's gonna go just like that. So it's got a little slack in it. The only thing we don't want is for anything to be able to escape. Alright, so it's gonna be like that. This will kind of help. Let's see. If I stand up, how's that gonna look? If I get off this dock. Just needs to be to where we step on the dock. Ain't gonna do anything too drastic. That seems pretty decent right there. Grab a lob of this. More toward the bottom layer. Set it in here. Just want a little bit, not a whole lot. Put a little bit of algae in here. So we will catch all the baby fish that we see. And we'll put it right here.
A few moments later.
Hurrah! How we're looking so far. We got our first fish dump right here in this bucket. Put them in a little floating spot. Here's the first one. Some fresh water. We'll work on this spot. Let's get this algae on this bank cleaned up first. And next up, we're tackling this small section right in here. Look at all these guys in here. I can't really see it. They're all dirty. Let's get these guys dumped in. See, I have it to where they can jump out if they please. Boom. That right there is our habitat. So far, everything's starting to look good. This will be day one for the pond. I'm actually quite impressed with how that turned out. Turned out good. We got one load dropped. Over here we got it all up on the bank working dry. And we got our little mini hatchery. The algae serves two purposes. And those purposes are food for them. So it'll serve as food. And it's also shelter too from the sun, because it gets a little hot out here. Alright, that right there is the first video of restoring the backyard pond. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as we did a little cleanup here. We got a boatload of giant American bullfrog tadpoles, and we also got some baby sunfish, bluegill, panfish in general. There were a couple perch in there, and then we have our little barrel right there. It's going to serve as kind of like a little nursery, if you will. And it'll give us a chance where we can rehome some of these frogs, because we have an abundance of them, and we haven't even touched that side of the pond or that little small section. So this will be the first video of us restoring the backyard pond. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Holmes Outdoors. Peace.